cycling as a mode of transportation may date back as far as 1500 AD. The term bicycle was coined in France in the 1860s. And now, a group of French bike advocates plan to cycle from Paris, France to Baku, Azerbaijan, for our environment.
My name is Guillaume and I am from France. 8 years ago, I stopped driving cars and switched to bicycles. I knew that I wanted to do something more with cycling, and I became a town councillor in my local city near Paris and took on the responsibility of developing the cycling in this town. What I'm doing is very local, but there's a global problem, and I came to realize how much cycling is an important leverage to reduce our emissions of carbon. A big number that says that if we actually can engage into using only walking, public transport, or biking up to a level of 85%, meaning 85% of the journeys in a city are carried with these means of transport, then you can reduce the transport emission by 50%.
Guillaume saw cycling as an opportunity not only to help communities, but to help the planet. And thus, the Conference of the Parties 29 bike trip was born.
I'm going to Baku for COP29 because I want to meet people from this organization and I want to discover bicycling.
And yeah, progressively the concept became real. We had people working on the route. We had actually a team of 7 different persons working on the different sections of the route and defining where we would stop and what would be this journey, defining the total number of kilometers, defining how much time it would take, when we had to leave.
And then the day arrived. The ride was now a reality.
Je me présente, donc je suis Thierry Gwagen, l'un des vice-présidents de l'Association française de développement des véloroutes et des voies vertes, donc qui depuis 1997 œuvre dans le développement des infrastructures, les véloroutes et les voies vertes, notamment en dehors des agglomérations. Et nous sommes ici parce que nous supportons de manière très forte cette initiative. Nous ne pouvions pas faire autrement parce que ça va dans le sens des valeurs que défend la F3V. Et donc c'est vraiment une initiative que nous apprécions.
We are going there in order to promote these 10 proposals. On the way, the proposals will be refined through the people we will meet.
Mainly there is 3 thematics, I think, the reason why I'm doing that. First, obviously the first one is regarding to the COP29, to talk again about climate change and all the things we need to do as a society for that. Second thing is also to promote soft mobility, of course. We are riding to Baku, so to encourage people to use more and more soft mobility transportation system. The third one is about health. You know, riding a bike is good for health, so I encourage everybody to ride. Not necessary to go to Baku, but at least to ride more and more to get in better health.
The concept of riding to the COP from different countries and riding to bring some concrete proposals in order to increase cycling. But the power of this idea was strong enough that I was able to rally friends. I put the idea on the social networks, put up a website, and then it caught on. Very amazing to see that there was some Dutch, there was some Austrian, there were people from various countries, and they were all rallied and all gathered by this strong concept of making cycling more important. Became a time when we passed this threshold, and I felt, well, that's great, because now it's no longer my idea, but it's our idea and it's our project.
Where are you going, Guillaume?
Going to Baku.
Baku?
Ride with me?
Baku? Are you crazy?
No, we're all going there. We're bringing the 10 proposals. The key question was where to start from. We picked up Paris for a good reason because a climate agreement was signed there back in 2015. And this is when we set ourselves an objective as nations around the world of keeping the temperature below 1.5 degrees. Ending point was Baku, where will be held the next COP, the COP29 in November. And then we had to define a route between the two.
There's a storm coming. We have a deadline to meet, a little house to arrive at. Oh la la!
The group was able to beat the storm and arrive at their first stop. After a good night's sleep, they were back on the road.
Hey Juliette, where are we?
Almost in Strasbourg.
Woohoo!
I love the adventure by bike. I find it very nice, and the pace is smooth, but we have the possibilities to see a lot of landscapes. So yes, that would be the reason, and to show my support to this kind of initiatives.
Et puis vraiment être un peu plus au courant de justement de la COP 29. On entend souvent parler de ce genre de COP, mais moi je ne peux pas obligatoirement aller voir vraiment ce qui se passe, quoi. Voilà, maintenant je serais vraiment intéressé et curieux. Voilà, un peu ça. Voilà, surtout de la curiosité, surtout.
Je suis venu parce que moi je fais un tour d'Europe à la base en solitaire et j'ai vu que vous passiez par pas loin de Mulhouse, hein. Normalement j'aurais dû suivre Mulhouse-Bâle, c'est ce que j'aurais dû faire, mais je me suis dit bon tiens, il passe à Strasbourg vers le 22-23, c'était ça la base. Et du coup je me suis dit bon je vais faire un petit peu rouler un petit peu avec d'autres personnes pendant quelques temps et puis voilà, c'est
I like to bike and also to do something for the environment and to show other people what they can do.
How old are you, Gerd?
I'm 73, yes.
It's impressive because Gerd, you were actually almost leading the way in the very high climb, so it's very, very impressive. Is this the Alps?
The Alps, yeah.
Finally.
Parti pour la COP 29
Voilà,
à Baku, en Azerbaïdjan, 6500 km. Et là, on est à Munich. Prochaine étape, Rosenheim.
Everybody needs an appropriate environment to use the bicycle. It consists from streets and surfaces where you bike and the points where you store your bicycle. We are very proud that we developed the so-called Altstadtring in Munich, and we gave the city of Munich a very exact plan for constructing that, and the first 200 meters are ready to use. It must be optimization and creation of protected bike lanes so that pedestrians and cyclists don't get in contact.
Patrick, what happened?
The chain broke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a solution?
Yeah, bike shop. It's like this on a bike tour. If it happens, it happens, and then you're getting angry, and then you're getting pissed, and then you try to stay friendly. I went to the bike shop in Liesen, where there was a cool guy who was caring about my bike and who fixed it all. It's all part of the experience, and that's what...
50. 50. ¿No? Tengo yo una balanza buena. Bueno.
Wow.
Vámonos, que a las 6. Auf jeden Fall da das irgendwie so vor den Medien auch vorflächen und so.
Dann wir suchen euch im Internet, in YouTube oder so, ja?
Genau, da.
Ah, super.
Da findest du die Adresse, da sind auch schon viele Fotos und das Foto von jetzt hier, das wird auch da drauf kommen, da bin ich mir sicher.
Dann suchen wir auch.
Frag ihn, hat schon einen Aufkleber auch für euch vielleicht, für die Möbel.
Dicen que Málaga tiene un parque lleno de flores a la orillita del mar, donde nacen los amores.
July in Austria! Whoa!
Put it here so every bike rider can read it. We found the perfect spot. Very nice, yeah?
Nice.
Look at my camera as well. Really nice.
I read the proposals. These 10 proposals are very specified, and that's good. Better infrastructure, better services, more cargo bike, more safety for children. These are all goals we share with you, and that they have measurable goals so that they can be achieved in the following years. And I think that each city can contribute to this cause.
Well, all 10 proposals are very good in promoting cycling in cities and countries around the world, but the second proposal, I think, it is very relevant for Novi Sad. Increase school trips by 150% until 2030. That proposal, I think, could help us to change not just the law but local government to promote cycling among kids, teachers, but their parents, kids' parents also. Because we want more kids on bikes in our city. We want them to be safer on our streets. Currently, by our law, by Serbian law, it is forbidden for kids younger than 12 years to ride the bike without their parents. And also, by our law, it is not allowed to transport kids or people in cargo bikes or bike trolleys or something like that.
My name is Milan Boric. I'm from Belgrade, secretary of the presidency of Yugo Cycling Campaign. It's the oldest NGO that is devoted to cycling advocacy or promoting cycling as a mode of transport, and also cyclotourism, everything that is connected with a bicycle except racing. There has to be fundamental change, like reducing number of cars that are going into the city center. Public transport is not in a good position also, because it's sometimes very problematic, it's stuck in a traffic jam, and there are several problems in Belgrade.
Yeah.
I realize that your mission is really very important. Since you are passing through countries, I'm thinking generally of south of Europe and the Asian ones, where the cycling is not that popular. And those 10, I think that you really tackled all important measures that should be implemented by both local and national governments. Maybe some of them are too optimistic in percentages which you proposed, but all of them are really necessary. We only a few months ago celebrated 25th anniversary of our organization, Yugo Cycling Campaign, which was the first NGO in, at that time, former Yugoslavia, who was established to promote cycling as an alternative mode, to propose measures for environmental protection. And during that time we did hundreds of projects.
I sort of joined by accident. So I was riding independently along the Eurovelo 6 from Saint-Lazare with the intended destination of Istanbul. And at Negotin, we were staying at the same hotel, at the same campsite as the group. And I bumped into Guillaume there, and it was proposed that I might join them. And I must say I'm extremely happy I did.
One of the things I think is good about cycle touring is it makes you focus on the moment, and you have to focus on the problems that you're addressing that day, like where are you going to sleep, what are you going to eat. So in many ways actually I find it much more relaxing to be cycling and doing this sort of thing than sitting on a beach.
We are a repairing organization.
Not much cycling infrastructure in Sofia and Bulgaria too, but we are courageous and we cycle.
What about the kilometers of cycleways in Sofia?
It's around 70 kilometers and they're basically in the central and southern part of Sofia, so the northern part of the city is not really developed in terms of cycling.
How many inhabitants in Sofia?
About 1.5 million or up to 2 million. The model split in Sofia was measured by the Sofia Mobility Center, and it's up to 2% of bicycle trips and around 30% for public transport trips.
Great. COP's 29 bike proposals we're bringing, the 10 proposals we're bringing. Would you have a comment to make about those?
Great proposals, very thorough, very meaningful. Each word is very good, I think. I can comment on a few things, and it's about this goal for doubling the cycling infrastructure. And the comment is that there's a big gap between the countries, the development in terms of cycling. For example, the Western countries have a lot more infrastructure than the countries in Eastern Europe. And the differences is really bigger between Europe and developments in other continents. So we have to think about if this doubling of cycling infra, what does it mean for really undeveloped countries, and that it should be a really meaningful and big goal for cycling infrastructure. It should be something really big for some of the countries as goals.
I have a really special guest next to me, a really brave man, because with his colleagues, he wants to tell something to the world with an amazing trip from Paris to Azerbaijan to Baku. How many kilometers is this?
That's more than 6,500 kilometers that we are doing in bicycle.
I heard about this COP29 bike trip on Instagram, so mainly about social media, because I was also doing a solo bike trip in West Europe, and I wanted to continue this trip, and I saw this bike trip about going to the COP29 in Azerbaijan. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna join this because this is an amazing project. So I took the train from France to Bulgaria, Sofia, and then I joined the bike trip, and my goal is to go to Turkey and then Georgia with them, and then go back to France with a bike. And because for me, biking is the best way to travel. Usually everything is very good. Yeah.
Have you stopped for such case? For in the way from France to here?
No, I just had like 2 punctures, but it was always on a good way. Like it was in a city, it was not too hot, so I even have like a little park.
Bisiklette yaya ulaşımı ayrılsa biz bu fark yapabilir miyiz? Yaparız değil mi?
So my name is Guillaume. I'm here with some fellow participants in what we call the COP29 bike ride. It is a ride that started in Paris in the middle of June and intends to reach Baku in November. Our intention with this ride is to bring 10 proposals on the development of cycling to governments, NGOs, municipalities in various countries. If we actually increase the share of public transport, biking and walking up to a level of 80%, we will reduce our carbon emission in transport by 50%. Yes, people know about solar panels, wind turbines. We know about many ways electric cars in order to reduce our carbon emissions, but cycling is often forgotten and is essential in this mix in order to maintain our temperature and reduce our carbon emissions.
So I was traveling already 5,000 kilometers in Portugal and Spain solo, but I met a lot of cyclists, so sometimes we just cycle for a few days together and then I continue solo. And this time I wanted to cycle with a group, that's why I joined the COP29 bike ride. It's perfect to cycle with a group. It's very different from biking solo, but I really love it too.
Bike, so I'm a volunteer at the COP29 bike ride. It's my 3rd time on the ride. This time I've gone from Sofia in Bulgaria to Istanbul in Turkey. Initially, and I started with my daughter, Pauline, who is 21. We wanted to rent 2 bikes in Sofia. And then we started to look on how I could go back from Istanbul to Sofia with a bike. And it was so difficult. We couldn't be sure that I could get the bike on a train, on a bus, impossible to be sure. So then I talked to Guillaume and we thought, hey, but maybe, probably, very likely there is someone who needs this bike more than me. And I'm sure we'll find someone to give it to in Istanbul.
Hi. Hi.
So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too.
Duru?
Duru.
And Yolanda.
Yes,
Very nice to
very
meet
nice
you.
to meet you.
And may I introduce you to
Wow.
Hunter? This is your bike now.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
I met Hande 2 days ago and I told her I have a surprise for you. We spoke and I said, you know, I would like to give, to donate, to offer a bike to someone, to a lady, a young lady who really needs a bike. And she thought about it and she found Duru, who is this young girl, 18 years old. And it's so great because she needs a bike and I'm so happy that she will have a Hunter.
My name is Hande and I'm the leader of Chain Breaking Women community. And we are doing bicycle lessons for women and kids. And that's how we met Duru, because she came there and she said, she and her mother came, by the way, and they said they have a bicycle, really old bicycle in the house they don't use for a while, and that's what their aim to make it go. And when we met with the group of COP29, and she told me she wants to donate her bicycle when she bought from the Bulgaria. These are really beautiful stories, by the way. So it's like a Bulgarian-made bicycle with a French lady goes to Turkish girl going to Ankara now. So yeah, that's why actually I think we call this chain breaking stories. It's another chain that we're making it. We're breaking these old chains, doesn't really work anymore.
My name is Duru. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Istanbul, and I recently learned about mechanic class for bicycles. I need to go to Ankara for university, so and the campus there is a bit big, so I actually needed a bicycle. Hande called me yesterday night and said we have a donation available, and I was like really excited. This really made me very happy.
Do you want us to write names or just a COP29 bike ride?
What?
Yeah.
However you feel.
COP29 bike ride team.
You have your some really serious writings as well, but this says like bicycle girls have really good asses. I think. So
yeah, it's not easy for left-handed people actually. It's almost impossible. You know, when I was a student at school.
So there is one more thing that I would like to say about the COP29 bike ride, is that it's highly inclusive. Highly inclusive. I think a lot of people would think bike ride has to be about men, about performance. The spokesperson is a man, so it has to be a male thing. And not at all, not at all. So I'm a woman, I've come 3 times on the bike ride. There were women before me, there will be women after me. And it's really super cool for a woman.
That's fine.
This girl was working in bikes. Do you know the company Bikes? BYCS. They're from Netherlands.
Yeah.
And they're doing project with out of Europe. And this Lilith was a worker there, and she came all the way from Germany to meet us. So from the beginning till the end, we are so glad that we still have this and helping each other.
So this was an interview just now with a representative from Greenpeace in Turkey. And as we go in our process and in our journey from Paris to Baku, these meetings are very important because basically they allow us to localize what we're doing. In this interaction, so we basically have 2 leverages. We have leverages with NGOs that focus on cycling, and we also have interaction with NGOs that promote climate. The interaction was important because, of course, Greenpeace is a relay, and we have to use as many channels as we can. We're in our journey and our initiative, we're very young, so it is important to get such relays in our journey. And I think this was fruitful because it gave a perspective on what's the reality. Istanbul is a city with 20 million inhabitants.
Official or a government official wouldn't take it as a priority to, like, how to say, they don't see cycling as a means of transportation mostly. That's why I'm saying luxury. You know, it's like a hobby. When you cycle, it's as you said, you do it on Sunday.
Yeah. And we had a meeting this morning with people in charge of planning on cycling with the town hall, and you can appreciate how complex this issue is. You know, the big question is where to start when you have such a complex picture. It reminds us that, you know, it's not easy. You have a lot of obstacles on your way. Once these obstacles are set and formulated, it is also very important for us also in our action to have an impact back and to be able to say, okay, well, you told us about what the issues were. Can you tell us about what solutions you would imagine for these problems? Once the person has imagine these solutions by himself or herself, we can start to have a discussion on what's happening in other countries, in other cities, in order to have an impact on this person and make him convinced that yes, cycling is a solution for reducing carbon in a great way.
It's very hard to ride with it without the bikes. Without the bikes, it's always shaking. Yeah.
Hiçbir şey yok yani. Gerçekçi yani.
Yani normal şeyler var.
I said, you know, it's not really a big deal, just something.
What you say?
No problem. Yeah.
My name is Guillaume.
Nice to meet you. I don't know, I think they just
No, I think it's maybe because of the COP29 message. Not only cyclists pacify.
Okay, yesterday I learned because I was trying to find a connection for our friends to go Azerbaijan, Baku, and I thought it's easy because it's just nearby to Georgia, after the Georgia, so they're kind of a neighbor, and they're Turkish, you know, but I had a connection with the man, and he was kind of rude to me, and he was saying, tell your French friends it's not good for them to come, it's kind of dangerous. And I said, you know, they're not politics, they're just cyclists, and they're doing this for environment, nothing really dangerous or, you know. And he said in the end, because I was pushing the conversation saying, come on, they're just friends. In the end he said, you know, back off. It's not your business, tell them go home back. I'm not really into politics, so I didn't know what's going on. And I checked and I learned that French government and Azerbaijan government had this really absurd kind of conversation about Armenian existence. So in the end now French people can't get inside Azerbaijan by walking or by cycling. They had to come with airplane. But they might need a help or like let's say security friends who could cycle with them and would make them feel better on the way. So I will check my best, but it is so weird, man. They're just supporting the environment. What's the big deal about it?
Hello everyone, thank you for being here. I just want to say something about what we're doing with the COP29 bike ride. What we are doing with this ride is making a 7,000 kilometers bike ride.
All right, so we're just out from a great critical mass here in Istanbul, and we rode with all these guys from cyclists from Critical Mass. Great welcome. I think it was cool, no?
Yeah, it was really fun. It had a bit of music and a lot of ring bell sounds, and we passed a lot of cars, and we were more than 20-30 people, so it was really fun.
Yeah, so it was good that he hosted us for that. So we are very grateful, and we got to meet again amazing people from the cycling community.
The big next step is Ankara, where we will stay a few days to also meet the NGOs and the municipality.
From Turkey, we'll go to Georgia. That will be interesting and probably maybe a first challenge on the way, because there are elections in Georgia. We don't know what's going to happen there. We don't know what will be the situation. But we have already some good contacts in Tbilisi that will welcome us. We just hope that the situation there will be acceptable, and we hope also for the Georgian people that their election goes well.
Today we leave Istanbul and we took the train from Istanbul to Gebze, and then we took a ferry to cross one part of the Mediterranean Sea, and then from there we will take the bike again and ride until Ankara, where some people are waiting for us also to do more interviews about cycling in Turkey.
I think the link between me and cycling is I had to get rid of my car and started using bicycle and only bicycle. So this journey has many benefits, but principally I would say people come on board because the flag that we share together is this flag of saying cycling needs to be developed as a means for reducing transport emission.
This is what I really like with this kind of rides. You can stop, see the fruits, meet the producer, and then buy any fruits or vegetables. It's fresh, perfect for the vitamins.
On achète une ou deux pour le si je donne 10.
Ah ouais? Je ne suis pas encore habitué. T'as un stylo?
Ouais, j'ai un stylo.
Öyle değil ki yani biletiz. Koşulları
You should sign when you finish. Maybe she's coming with us in Georgia.
We shall do here what we can do.
Yeah. You come by in France and then we join you and then we go to Portugal together. That would be fun.
I'm waiting for them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Pearl. That was so super. Yeah. But I shouldn't say past. It's super, and it will be super even.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and that's great.
Je suis un peu désolée for quitting here. You.
No,
I hope
super.
It's for the best.
Yeah.
More than this, you can stay and enjoy there.
Okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
Adios, amigos.
Yes.
Bye bye. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
How we do it, and I think it will be also a good time to take also your feedback, how it is cycling in Ankara, what we can say when we go to the COP about your cycling conditions.
Why we choose bicycle in our daily lives, why we should choose and include the bicycle in our lives, that in order to fight with the population of the cars and also the emissions, gas emissions.
They're like, okay, there's a project, it's called COP29 bisiklet sürüşü in Turkish, like COP29 bike ride. And then I said, okay, you're already a very well-known climate activist, so you need to be in this project, man. I was like, yeah, you're gonna...
And after this, I couldn't say no.
No, yeah, so we are here.
So how do you feel after your arrival in Ankara, Antoine?
Very nice. It was a long ride to arrive to the city center, but then we met a lot of cyclists here and the press conference was really good. I'm quite happy to see that there are some people fighting also to put more bicycle lane and just improve the bicycle culture in Ankara.
Hepsi birbirinden değerli öneriler. Bunların sunduğunuz önerilerin hepsi birbirinden değerli. Ancak en önemli önceliğimiz bisiklet altyapısını oluşturmak aslında. Birini önceliklendirmek gerekirse bu ilk olan bisiklet altyapısı.
We were warned yesterday that they are doing an e-bike sharing system, a very ambitious program. The challenge in this is that they have this program, they will have about 2,500 bikes and they have no bike lanes in the city. So it was really a tough moment because they were explaining about this bike sharing system and at the same time we know they don't have bike lanes. Or they have very little bike lanes, maybe like 10 kilometers of bike lane for a city of 5 million inhabitants.
Integrating bike usage into transportation is starting points.
So how? Yeah, how?
And it's also saying that bike sharing is a right extreme example.
In Turkish. Evet, çöp olacaklar biliyorum. Çok iyi biliyorum yani. O saçma sapan bir proje. Bunu da biliyorum.
Ama bak sen hayır.
So what about bikes? What about bicycles?
You cannot differentiate bikes from mass transportation and pedestrian. If you differentiate it, you have no climate-related issue. Bike sharing is not a performance. It's not a sport.
I know.
Transportation tool. It is a tool to kill transportation system.
So you think that in Paris it would be better not to have bike sharing?
Bike sharing has no function.
Do you have any solution?
Yeah, I know the solution, but
What is the solution?
What is the solution?
if I tell you the solution,
Yeah.
do you think that you can accept?
Just tell us.
Your business as usual is ruling party, not the solution. Planning is main issue, and when normally the bikers should destroy the municipality building because they fucked up the transportation issue.
Yes.
But we are not talking about this issue without planning and without making measure of pedestrian, mass transportation, bike. We cannot talk.
We need some bikes. We need some bicycle lane. We need to reduce the speed limit. We need to improve the public transport.
They're all integrated.
So there is
you are right.
all the things to do. So we're starting from zero. And now it's like, okay, where do we start? Some people want to start with bicycle lane. Some people want to start with transport. And some people want to start with putting more bikes. And I think we should do all of this. Because if we do only one thing, then some people will say, no, we can't do this because there is not the other thing. For example, some people say we can't put bikes because we don't have bicycle lane. And some people say we can't put bicycle lane because we don't have bikes.
I think it's an interesting mix because you both have to talk with the institutions, the governments, the municipalities, and at the same time you have to challenge them. And I think if you only talk with them, nothing happens. So it's a delicate balance in the fact that they do a lot of what I would call bike washing. So everyone knows the term greenwashing. I think the same applies to bike. So you have to kind of go along this bike washing because it helps the bike culture and at the same time you need to challenge it.
On est où là?
Bah là il y a un petit souci de mécanique. On est à la sortie d'Ankara, genre même pas 1 kilomètre d'Ankara. Et bah on fait demi-tour sur Ankara pour réparer le vélo de Guillaume.
D'accord. Donc ça va nous coûter quoi cette petite plaisanterie?
Bon, une bonne matinée en moins. C'est pas où on va être ce soir, ça va être marrant.
Bon, et tout ça c'est à cause de ça.
D'une nouvelle chaîne.
Il y a quelque chose dans ce bidule qui marche plus. Bon, on s'est dit que c'est pas grave et que c'est pas grave. C'est relativement pas grave. C'est juste super chiant. C'est juste super chiant.
Ça fait partie du voyage.
Merci à toi Antoine d'être patient avec mes ennuis mécaniques. Moi c'est encore pire quand c'est pas les tiens.
Je suis patient parce que je sais que là-dedans, il y a à manger. Il y a du chocolat qui m'attend.
Allez, on y va.
À plus.
Courage. What happened this time?
I just lost the pedal because it was unscrewed. But I was very happy because I lost it just in front of a big building who had all tools to repair it. So it was very fast.
Alors là, pour ceux qui se rappellent, il y avait la pédale qui tombait toute seule, la pédale d'Antoine. Et là c'était l'horreur, on avait perdu l'écrou. Donc non seulement la pédale tombait, mais l'écrou était quelque part sur une route gravillonnée. Donc là, on a retrouvé l'écrou. C'est miraculeux.
Yes, So this is what happened yesterday.
Okay.
I thought I fixed it, but no. I'm so happy. But now I need to fix it again.
In the background there's a truck that's supposed to repair the road, but is actually bringing the wrench so that Antoine can fix his bike. Took a difficult decision to take another route and split. We were supposed to go to Lake Van, or that's the best route and that's the most scenic route. But I'm low on energy. I still have the shoulder that handicaps me. The challenge of being in a group makes that you always have to keep the same speed. Sleep in a tent every day. I think I just need to take a bit of a rest. So I decided to take this route, which is saving 400 kilometers. And what I always said about the ride is to reach the destination, no matter how. So that's a rather, I would say, emotional decision, but it's a good one. So let's keep going.
C'était tout seul, mais déjà vu qu'en fait un vélo électrique il plafonne à 25.
Et oui.
Should I change my bike?
Oh, it's okay.
They were all shocked, but I don't know.
Great.
All right, guys, let's go.
Here's the group that we are here in this stop in Tbilisi, in Georgia. We're very happy to be here. Today we are 5, but on different part of the journey so far there's been 50 different cyclists from, I would say, maybe 10 nationalities that joined this ride.
After we left Istanbul, we went to Ankara. In Ankara, we also met amazing NGOs and the municipality. We understand how this big city is very far from having a share model with a lot of bicycle, but it's on the way. They will reduce the speed limit of the cars. They will put more bicycle lane, more bike sharing. And then we went a bit for tourist spots in Cappadocia in Turkey. It was absolutely beautiful. Then we continued with the group to Kayseri. We also met the municipality. It was very interesting, but they are also very far. But they already have a bike sharing system which works very well. And then we continued to Lake Van, which was absolutely beautiful, and I really love this part of Turkey. And then last week we arrived at the end of Turkey in Kars, where more people joined us, and then we entered in Georgia. And all of us, we really love Georgia because, like, so far, beautiful mountains. It was amazing landscape, amazing people, but we were very cold because it was around 0 degrees. We had even snow one night, but it was perfect. And now we just arrived in Tbilisi. We met an amazing cyclist group, and we're going for a little cycling ride in the city. big adventure, and we are just in Georgia, and just a new country. We don't know what we are doing here.
But it's an adventure.
Good. Yeah. Cool.
That?
Yes.
Grape.
De raisin. Plus tu laisses masser longtemps, plus ça passe de rosé à rouge.
I read this article in the newspaper already half a year ago, and then suddenly we were in Georgia, and I thought, we're gonna find this wonderful winemaker because he makes the best wine. And we found him, and he indeed is traveling to France, to Japan, to the United States, and look at where we are. We just found him in Gamarjava, something like that, which means victory, and this is really a victory festival meal for us. And we're just passing by. We knocked on the door and we said, "Hi, I saw you in the newspaper and we wanted to visit you." And then he invited us and he gave us wine and food, and he's a wonderful person.
And not only is a winemaker, but he is
Our special permit to enter Azerbaijan is in our hands by the 31st of October. Morning. So Guillaume, how are you? Did you sleep well?
Guess what happened tonight? Something that we wanted. It's not the special permit, but something that will really, really help us. It means I am officially invited to the COP29. Isn't that great?
What do you now? Do you want to pretend that I'm in touch with Ali? So I say, wow, what? Or am I just saying, wow, wonderful that?
No, you could say we're having a coffee in the morning. Yeah. You already had the news, and you're pondering on the fact that you're
Isn't
just pondering,
yeah.
like you're sharing with me. You're saying it's a good thing that Ali gave us for the passports yesterday. It's a good sign because I cannot imagine we would pass the border without giving our names and passports.
But then,
yeah, it's probably converging to a single person in the end. It's probably noticing that, hey, I've seen this lady
guy.
and this French guy
They're
before.
really persistent.
We need to figure out what's the minimum time for us to reach the COP by bike.
So we had 10 days, but as it is flat, we could reduce it to 7 days.
We want to go in the blue zone and we want to do a side event in the blue zone. And then once we have a side event date, so this whole needs to match. No, I didn't check with him, but I think Ali would welcome the company. So I don't think, or I don't know, because it's going to be between arriving on time to the COP for him, or maybe riding with us. But I could feel from Ali that he was welcoming the company and being in a group of cyclists.
Okay.
He asked for where we stay.
And we are good company.
We hopefully are.
We're cyclists. We are in the blue zone on the 22nd.
Yeah.
If they have Wi-Fi over there, probably have, but I'm not sure because it's like they would. And have our virtual with our own people.
Yeah. Cool.
So we have the date for the virtual event, the 22nd. Really an old building, but
look, it is.
It's still there. What?
This is Anne.
She
is saying that not only I can get a badge, that we knew already, but also you can get a badge.
Can I get a badge?
That's a second badge. That's a second badge. A second badge. We need to ask Ali about the message he sent this morning, because he's arriving in BBC tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Okay.
And it means that he's going to be ready to cross the border, and then maybe his contacts have news for us.
No, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. No, Yelena, we're talking about me. Then we have plan B with small pass, but if the road is okay, we stay on the main road.
But
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, it's good to see it, to realize how it is. When they are trying to hide everything from the cities.
So here's what happened. We arrived. We are now at this border checkpoint. The immigration guy just walked out to us and told us it was closed, which we know.
It was very nice. We're waiting for a permit, not now, but tomorrow. And then he said, it's closed anyway, you have to go to Red Bridge.
Oh no, but you're telling us if we have permit, we can go to Red Bridge. With permit, special permit from Azerbaijan, we can go to Red Bridge crossing.
Yeah, so the road from DC to here was quite long and very strange when we arrived at the end, with many factories, a lot of smog, a lot of trucks, so a bit like the end of the world arriving. But then at the end we had little villages with little citizens. It was quite okay.
Pretty okay. Mais c'est quand même fou d'arriver là et de ne pas pouvoir aller plus loin.
We've done everything we could, right?
Yeah, that's
did
all
we
we can
do?
do. So we're on our phones to check every channel if the permit comes in.
Yeah.
And till that time, maybe we should just go to the fish house.
So it will work.
We'll be back tomorrow morning.
More.
Looks beautiful. And from what you can see, we go to Gobi. Okay, ready?
Good to see you.
I was kind
But it almost started just by the question of distance for me, which was fun.
and then you're like an expert, like
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so, you really need.
my biggest
You like my Rambo?
Yeah.
Pas mal.
I think
Donc,
on this side,
c'est
we'll
un
still
Honda
go on the highway.
But I think we're going like on the...
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Salut! All right.
Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. Woohoo! We zijn er bijna, we rijden er nu omheen. Achter mij is het stadion, maar we moeten een U-turn maken. Ah.
Right side.
All right. Going on the wrong side of the road, but the policeman said we could do it. Guillaume and me are both doing a live recording.
6,500 kilometers, and we are there. I can see the sign, the logo.
Look at all these people. They're all going to talk about the climate, and we hope they also include cycling as a serious option.
We are very close. In your lane, you're filming. We are catching the moment.
Yes, we're catching the moment! Well, we're not allowed with the bikes near the entrance, so they're treating us just like a car, which maybe is what we want. We don't know, but so we have to go to the park and ride and then get to the entrance.
Under moonlight by the Caspian shore, I feel my heart return to...
We're here! We've arrived! Yes!
This would have been nice with the proposals, but now we do it with the flag.
Yes. But it's just a beginning because we'll have to advocate now.
Yes!
And the next 10 days with...
Yes!
Yes! We made it!
Okay, people! The COP 29.
From Dubai, from Paris, from many cities, we did it!
I went to France, but taking a car.
Next time,
It was called Flexbus, so I joined a protest for the Green Party.
Next time you go by bicycle, I think.
I think so.
France and Germany.
You ran all the way to Azerbaijan?
Yes.
Wow.
Because
so
we
cool.
think. Look, there's the bike.
All right, please take a seat. It's my first COP. It's really impressive. You can imagine what it is, but when you're inside, the vibe, the number of people, there are also some political actions that are actually cleared by the United Nations so people can express what they need. We're very excited, very tired because we did a lot of meeting. We still have a lot to do. It's a tremendous experience. We didn't know at the start whether it would be possible to get into Azerbaijan by land. We were lucky enough to get an authorization to get into the COP in order to do what we'll be doing. Now we're here, we can deliver our message, we can advocate on biking, we can advocate on diminishing the carbon emission in the transport sector.
The earth doesn't need us, and life will go on, but we can come together to see this journey on. We ride not to race, we ride not for speed. We cross all the hills and valleys, speaking what we need. The air must be clean to carry us through. We ride 6,000 kilometers to prove this to you. Back for the present and the future too. From Paris to Baku, we ride for you.